Okay, so now we've got the heat on, and I've poured a little bit of olive oil, not obviously pork fat, into the pan, and we're heating that. Shouldn't take very long. Maybe put one piece of onion in there just to make sure you know the temperature. You don't put your finger on. So you can actually hear it starting to sizzle now. You can leave that for a few more seconds. What you really don't want is smoke coming out of there, but as soon as it's kind of that temperature where it's starting to sizzle, you can put the onion in. Give it a little coat. So we'll come back to this in about 5 minutes. So now you can actually see that the onions are starting to take on a little bit of colour just on the edges, and becoming transparent. You wouldn't want to put in the garlic any sooner than this because it will just burn. So now I'm putting in the chopped garlic. Quite difficult trying to do all this with one hand. And I like to put in some sausage as well. And just see why in about another 5 minutes. So at this point, what you can't be aware of is the smell of the onions and the garlic and the sausage all cooking. It's absolutely amazing. Very savoury, very not too garlicky, but the onions are smelling a little bit caramelised. You definitely get an umami feeling. At this point, we're going to add in the kilo of pork and spend about 2 or 3 or even 5 minutes, depending on the heat, making sure that's all browned, and we'll come back again in another 5 minutes. So here we are, with the meat is now browned. It doesn't mean that it's actually browned. It just means it's been seared on all sides, and you can see quite a lot of juice from the meats come out as well. But we want to sear it so that a lot of the juice stays in the meat from now on, because we're going to be boiling it. And I'm going to put in quite a large amount of sweet paprika, as the Hungarians would say, édes paprika. And that will actually soak into the fat that's in there and enhance the colour and the flavour. You can always add more later on if you think it's not red enough, or if you don't think the flavours of the paprika is strong enough. But actually the flavour of a goulash is mostly paprika and onion and garlic. So I'm also going to pop in a couple of bay leaves. So because we're not cooking on a bogrash, I'm just going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. I find this one's actually a good brand. Just a couple of dashes really. That's enough to give it the kind of smoky, deep flavour that you're looking for, that you would have got if you'd been cooking it on a bogrash. And I'm just going to be adding stock cube now, and then we'll pour some water in, just enough to cover the meat. Sorry about that, it's my washing machine. Right, here we go. Just enough water to cover the meat. You're going to be adding more later on anyway when you add the vegetables, because you need to keep covering things and obviously the water reduces over time. So at this point you're going to be leaving it to simmer for about 25 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll test the meat. So at this point you want to try and test a piece of the meat and see if it's starting to get soft. And you can do that with a spoon. It's sort of almost halfway there, so I reckon another 5-6 minutes. The meat should really fall apart in your mouth, but you don't want to cook it too long because it will get really dry and it's horrible. So keep an eye on that. In about 5 minutes time we're going to add the carrots and the parsnips, so we'll come back at that point. So now the meat's gone, I would say tender but not fully tender. That's fine, because what you want to do now is put in the carrots and the parsnips. Carrots and the parsnips are of the same size, because mainly they kind of cook at the same rate. So, and you definitely don't want to put the potatoes in yet. You might want to add a little bit more water, basically. And I would give this another 10 minutes before you add the potatoes, and we're almost getting to the end stage now. Okay, so the carrots and the parsnips are tender, or just beginning to get tender, so now I'm going to put in the potatoes. Make sure that there's enough liquor to cover them, and then basically you wait another 10 minutes, test the potatoes to see if they're breaking up. If they're not, give them another couple of minutes. But I would say that between 10 and 15 minutes this is all going to be ready to serve. So here we are with the final dish. I'm going to try and get some from the bottom as well. There you are, the perfect Hungarian goulash, with served with crusty bread, which is obligatory. And if you like it spicy, which I do, you take a little bit of Irish pista flakes and crumble that on the top, which perfect.